In the last two sessions, we have gone through few Linux commands which required while we are doing the DevOps role, right? Still, we have a few other things to cover in the Linux. The first one is permissions. The first one is going to be the permissions. First of all, what is the permissions and why do we need to learn the permissions? I'm not talking about the user creation and everything yet. Yesterday, we have seen the file creation, right? How to create a file, how to edit the file, how to view the file, and all the things. So now let's talk about file permissions and ownership, like owners and all, ownership. The reason is the same machine, the same computer can be used by multiple people, right? The same computer can be used by multiple people, like not with, obviously not with the same login. I can log in with my username and password. You can log in with your own password and all. Okay, one second. So I got a question like, can you please repeat VI once? Okay, let's go with that also. But before, I will show you like what is VI and all. Okay, yesterday we have seen the VI, right? Which is used to edit the file, which is used to edit the file. Directly also you can create the file using the VI. Okay. So just in 5 to 10 minutes, I will cover all the things what we have covered. Okay. Why kind stuff. Okay. So I think let me log into the okay, here is the Linux machine. Just give me a second. Yeah. Now let me create one file first. To create the file we use already I logged in with the root user. Touch, I will say myfile.txt, which is an empty file. How to check whether it is an empty or it contains data? If I do cat file name, it displays nothing. It displays nothing. Now I want to add some data. How? Using a VI command, or you can use a nano also. Different, like if you want to edit a file you can use a default notepad, or you can use notepad plus plus, you can use atom, you can use VS code, right? In Windows machine the same way in the Linux you can use different tools. I'm using vi space myfile.txt, which contains nothing. Now I can't type anything. If you want to type you have to press I. Then you can observe at the bottom left corner that insert means you are in the insert mode. You can enter anything. Like I will say like hello everyone, right? And let me write few other things. This is a DevOps with AWS. Let us say today is third Linux class, right? Just let me press escape because I need to get out of the insert mode to save and close. Press escape, then colon. You can see at the bottom left corner what is the colon which I am typing colon WQ. Press enter. Done. The file got saved. Let me view. Cat space my file. Sorry, my file.txt. See, now let me open vi space my file.txt. Now I want to repeat the same three lines like for like about 100 times or so. I want to copy paste in the Linux, sorry, in the Windows. If you want to copy paste, you can select, you can press Control C or right click, or you can do copy and then you can Control V, right? Like this. The same thing I want to do in the Linux, copy paste. How? Just take that cursor to the line from which you would like to copy How many lines you want to copy? Let us say I want to copy one line. So just I will press YY. I press YY. Now I press it YY. Y means yang. I mean like kind of a copy. Now I want to paste. Where you would like to paste, just take the cursor over there and press P. See, one line got copied. Sorry, one line got paste. Yeah. Now I want to copy two lines. So go there from where you would like to copy, press 2YY. 2YY. Two lines got copied. Now I want to paste those two lines. Now press P. Wait, did I do something wrong? Because two lines did not copy. Okay. Let me say we have a three, one, two, and I want to copy all these three lines. Let me press 3YY. You can see three lines yanked here, right? 3YY, three lines yanked, means three lines copied. Now press P. But why it only copied three? Let me close. One second, let me close. Just I closed without saving. I closed without saving. VI my file. Yeah, that's correct only. Why I got confused. Okay, sorry. So this is not the three lines actually. Okay. So these total five lines. Just to avoid the confusion, we need to set SC space NU number. See, three line means this is the line one, this is line two, and this is line three. Right? Okay. Now just go to the from where you would like to copy. Just take the cursor position over there. Now I want to copy just one line. YY, YY. YY means single line got copied. Where you would like to paste. See. Now I want to copy three lines. Three lines in the sense one, two, and three. Second line is empty. Empty line will be copied from two cursor position from two. Okay. So see now YY. I copied a single, okay, not YY. How many lines you want to copy? Two or three? Three, okay. Three YY, three lines yanked. Now I want to paste. Yes, that's correct. See, this is the line one, this is the line two, and this is the line three. Right? This is what we copied and pasted. I think earlier, I think the confusion might be I pressed three, but why it did not copied like one, two, three, three lines? Like even this empty space is there, right? That is also a line. So that's why I set number. SE space NU, set space number, empty one. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So I think you got clarity about the VI. Any other questions on the previous classes? Okay, if you got any questions, just let me know so that then we can move on to the permissions thing. Okay, all clear. Okay. Where are we? Yeah, permissions, file permissions. So multiple users work on the same server, right? In these cases, security is most important. Security is critical. Not only important, security is a critical thing. So whenever there is a wrong permission, that will leads to a security breach. Means, let us say, I created one file with incorrect security permissions so that someone might delete that file or edit the file or manipulate the content and all the things. Linux controls access using permission. Not only Linux, even Windows also controls the access levels using the permissions. So first of all, let's observe the permissions, view permissions for an existing file or whatever, because so far we have created a lot of files and there are some default files. Let us try to identify how to read the permissions of a particular file. How to do that? Let us say ls space hyphen l, which is a long list with a detailed info, right? Press enter. So here, this part is related to the permissions. This part is related to the permission. Okay, so for better understanding, let me copy this. Let me paste here. Where is the notepad? Yeah. This indicates the permissions of a file. So the first one, this L, right? This might get changed. Sometimes you can see L, sometimes you can see just a dash, sometimes you can see a D. What does that mean? It indicates the type of the object. L stands for link. It's just a kind of a soft link which redirect to user slash bin. If you see just a dash like this, the first leftmost value, the leftmost position, dash in the sense that indicates it is a file. And if you see a D, D indicates that is a directory. You can see there any directory? Yeah, these all are the directories. Dev, that is a directory. So you can see a D. Or if you want to see, I will create a directory mkdir Krishna. So ls hyphen l. Where is that? Krishna, see here, which is having a D. And we created a file, right? For the file, it is a dash. Soft links are related to the operating system or some kind of things that indicates with the L. Now, so here you can see RWX, right? I can see RWX and all. What is this RWX? R indicates read, W indicates write. What is the X? X indicates execute. Execute. What is this execute? What is the difference between the read and execute? Any idea? What is this read and execute? Read in the sense it's a kind of a view. Execute means you can run that particular file. You can run, especially the scripts and all, you can execute that script and all. If there is no execute permission on the file, everybody cannot execute it. They can't execute it, that executable file. Just they can open and they can view it. That's it. Execute in the sense you can execute it. And every permission, read and write and execute, can be represented with the numbers also. They can be executed with numbers. Okay. Here, uh, let me say this is, let me make it simple, RW dash, then, okay. So let me explain, let me write down few this also first thing. So already we have known that the first one indicates the type of the object, which is a file and all. So this indicates file and D means it is going to be the directory. If you see D, that is going to be the directory. And the next three digits are W hyphen, right? This is owner permissions, what the owner can do. I will explain that. Then the next one R dash dash, right? That is group permissions. Whoever is a part of that group, what exactly they can do? They can just do a read. Then R dash dash. This is others, like what others can do along with the owner and the group. owner and group, what others can do. That is what the third component. Total here we have a 10 positions. The first one indicates the type, where is a file directory. The next three indicates the permissions of the owner. Means owner can read and write. Owners can read and write. The group people can read the file. Others also can read. They can't modify and all. Okay, right. So then we have seen the R stands for read, W stands for write, and X stands for execute. And these permissions can be represented in a numeric values also. What is that? If I say 4, if I say 4, which means read, I will show you that. 2 indicates write. Then one indicates execute. One indicates execute. Okay. Now, if you want to give, okay, so here, if you want to change the permissions, what should be the command? If you want to change the permissions, what should be the command? The command is going to be chmod. Chmod is the command to be used to manage the file permissions. Change chmod, modify. So how, let us say you can't change the type of the file, right? If it is a file, it is going to be file forever. The remaining things, user, group, and others. So here, example, I want to provide uh, read, write, and execute to the owner, and read and execute for group and others. I want to provide read, write, and execute to the owner, read and execute for the group and others. So what does that mean? How it looks like? It is a file, right? So here dash, the first one, read, write, execute. For this is for the user or the owner. Then for the group, read and execute, right? Read and execute stands for like R, no write, execute. For others, read, no write means no W, just a dash, execute. This is how it should be. So how to provide the permissions? The syntax is going to be chmod space permissions space the file name, on which file you would like to give the permission. Does it mean I need to use like this chmod space myfile.txt? This is what we have to enter? No. This we need to represent in the number format. Number format. Okay. So first user RWX, right? RWX. If you sum all 4 plus 2 plus 1, it is going to be 7. Then read and execute for the group. Read and execute. So it is going to be 5. Then again read and execute. 4 plus 1, 5. Chmod 755 and then the file name. Let us see. So ls-l, we are talking about this myfile.txt. Now what happens here? For the owner, read and write permissions are there. For group, only read, and for others, only read. Now we are going to change. How? Chmod 755 myfile.txt. Now ls-l. See what happened? read and execute for the group, read and execute for others. Even you can make that as a different way also, like chmod 777 myfile.txt means anybody can do anything. Where is that? See, read write x, read write x, or I can say a different way, chmod 644 myfile.txt. See, chmod 755 myfile.txt. Okay. Now, the same way you can assign the permissions to the directories also. Directories also. Okay, now what I do is I will get into the directory Krishna, in which I will create a subdirectory, subfolder. I will go to that. Now let me create a file. Touch a new file.txt. Okay. What does that mean? I have a folder Krishna. In that, I have a folder called subfolder in which I created a file called new file.txt. Okay. So see this Krishna, right? Now I want to give full permissions on this particular folder like chmod 777 Krishna. Now the question is, what happens to the subfolder and file? Do they get full permissions like 777 for the subfolder and the file which is in the subfolder? Let us see. ls-l. So the main folder is got read, write, execute. Let me get into the folder Krishna, in which we have a subfolder ls-l. But what is the problem here? They are not getting the permissions, what we call that, automatically throughout the structure, right? For that, what you have to do is chmod 777 Krishna is the actual permissions what we are planning to assign. If you want to provide the permissions to every file and every subfolder in that particular folder, you have to use recursive option -r. Recursively, R stands for recursively, which means every file and every subfolder within that Krishna directory will get the same permissions. Let us see. Krishna folder is having the full permissions. Now let me get into the Krishna folder, ls-l. See the subfolder got the full permissions. Let me get into the subfolder. The new file got the this one. If you want to apply the same permissions to the every file and folder in that particular parent directory, you have to use -r. Even if you remember, while deleting, we have used a command called rm space -rf, right? R means recursive. If I delete rmdir, deleting a directory, Krishna, see? Oh, rmdir, Krishna. Directory is not empty. rmdir-f Krishna. Does it work? No. So that's why what we have done, rm space -rf recursively Krishna and done. There is no Krishna folder. R is a recursive. Like internal things will be automatically gets deleted. This is how you can create a file, you can create a directory, and you can assign some permissions. You can change the permission. Also, but we never do that. We can change the owner also. Who is the owner of myfile.txt? Root is the owner, right? Root is the owner. you can change the ownership or you can change the owner also. How? How to change the owner? Instead of chmod, we have to use chown. We have to use chown. So let me write that also. But in the real time, we never change the ownership. We can assign the required permissions to other users. Okay, so once again with chmod with R. Okay, yeah, let me go to that chmod. Sorry. So here I have a folder. This is a directory, right? In which I have another folder and in which I have a file called myfile.txt. Okay. Now, if I am at this position, okay, if I do chmod 777 Krishna, what happens on this directory? Read, write, execute permissions will be applied, but this command will not touch the internal subfolders. If you want to apply the same 777 on this folder and this file, then what you have to do is you have to use chmod -r 777 and the top level directory. Then what happens? This command will apply 777 permissions here, 777 here, 777 here. And if there is any like subfolders still exist, there also the 777 will be applied. The permissions will be recursively applied. That is what the -r. Is that clear or still any confusion with the chmod with -r parameter? Recursively, the permissions will be applied like to the subfolders and each and every file in that parent directory. That is what the recursive. Okay. So then where are we? We are chown, right? Chown is used to change the owner of the file or a directory. But in the real time, we never use it. Chown ec2-user myfile.txt. Example, this is the example, means owner of that particular file will be changed to ec2-user. Okay, let us see. Let me copy this. So if I go to the Linux and you can see myfile.txt, who is the owner? Root user. Root is the owner. Now I'm going to change the owner to ec2-user. ls-l. See what happened? ec2-user becomes owner. This is the group, means whoever is a part of this particular root group can execute, can get these permissions. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places indicates the permissions for the group. 2, 3, 4 positions indicates the permissions for the owner, right? Okay, this is how you can change the owner. And even you can change the group also. You can change the group also. If you want to change the group, first you should know what group exists. I know there is a group called ec2-users. chown, right? And ec2-user, this is the user, I mean the owner. This is the group, myfile.txt. Means I changed the owner and group of that particular file. Now see, owner and group got changed. If you want to change only the group, now I want to change only the group. We won't use these things in the real time, but just we have an option. So that's why I'm showing ch own. I want to change only the group. So owner blank colon group ec. Let us change this to root myfile.txt. What happened? Root. Okay, it's typo. There is no such group exist ROOR. See, the group got changed to root again. This is how you can even the ownership hyphen R so that all the subfolders will get the recursively the changes with the usernames, passwords, and all the things. Now we need to know like how to create the users also, right? User management. That is more important. Sometimes we have to create a users for some applications and all the things. User, I can say users and groups. Users and groups. Okay. So why we need to create the user? Because anywhere we never ever share the common username and password with multiple people. I mean, like you and me cannot use the same username and password to log into any computer. Not about only the Linux, anything. And also applications run as users, right? So you have to create a separate user with minimum required permissions so that applications can run with as that such users. And for security purpose, we need to create users, right? So how to create the user? Let us create some few users. Create a user. So user add username. Let us say username. Let us create like two, three users. So let us say in a proper way, create a user with a username Krishna and assign a password. He must need a password, right? Without having a password, they cannot log in. So first step, create user. Second step, assign a password. What are the commands to create the user? To create the user, the command is user add space username. Then you need to set the password PASSWD and username. The first command will create the user and the second command will assign a password to the user. Let us see. Sorry. User add Krishna. Done. User got created. Now set the password PASSWD KRISHNA. Assign a password. Let me assign a password. Again, let me retype the password. I'm using a simple password welcome 123. Done. Now I want to verify. How to verify? ID space username. See, user ID, group ID. And here, whenever you create any user, automatically a group will be created with the username. By default, the user is a part of that particular group. The user Krishna is a part of a group called Krishna. He is not a part of any other group, which means that user will get normal user permission. He don't get by default, he don't get any administrator permissions and all. Let us see. So I logged in with the root user. So I can switch to any user, right? Okay. So now what I do is su space hyphen username Krishna means, see, with which user I logged in? Krishna. The Krishna user can log in with his own username and password by entering the credentials, but I am the root user, so I can switch to any user. Who am I? Krishna, right? Okay, now I want to see something here. I want to create a file, Krishna1. where at the slash. Permission denied. So you remember we have to use a sudo, right? Okay, let me see. What it is asking? It is asking to enter the password. Let me enter the password. What is the error? Krishna is not in the sudoers file, which means this user is not a part of a group which can get administrator permission. So what does that mean? By default, no user will get a full permissions on the machine. You have to provide explicitly those permissions. How that I will show you. Just you have to add him to the root user group or something. Okay. Now, I want to see something like there is a file. Let me cat command is used to view some information, right? Okay. etc password passwd. What happened? It displays some information, right? Okay. So here you can see this one. Krishna is the username, and this is the user ID, group ID, his home directory, and the shell, bin bash shell. Just for identification purpose, I'm showing you. Now I want to create some groups. I want to create a group like DevOps. I want to create a group called a DevOps, and then I want to add a user Krishna into that particular DevOps group. So how to create a group? Group add. Instead of user add, you have to use a group add. DevOps. Simple. Group add a DevOps. Done. Got created. Now, I want to add a user to the group. Add the user Krishna into the group DevOps. What should be the command? It is going to be, sorry, user mod. We are modifying the user hyphen a g. G is the group, indicates a group. What is the group? Group is going to be the DevOps and then username. Means we are adding this user into this particular group. Let me copy. Done. Now I want to verify what are the groups that the user Krishna is in, right? Okay. Now verify the groups of the user Krishna. I mean, in which group he is a part. Simple thing, group space username. He is a part of a Krishna group and a DevOps group. Okay, right. Now let us assign, let us assign what we call that a pseudo permission to the user. Let us assign a pseudo permission. How the pseudo permission will be assigned is what we call that except the Ubuntu. We have in the Linux, we have multiple things. Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Amazon Linux, Ubuntu and all, right? So except the Ubuntu for all the other operating systems. Okay, let me tell you. So we can assign a user with a sudo permissions so that the user can manage the server. Okay, so here for Amazon Linux and Red Hat Enterprise Linux, there is a group called, there is a group named V. The user must be added into the group wheel to get the sudo permissions. What is the sudo? Admin, sudo permissions. You might ask, okay, I can add the user to the root group. Yes, you can, but he will become a root user, right? So that root permission. So that's why we will never do that. Okay. We need to add the user into the group called wheel. And Ubuntu, for Ubuntu, add the user into the group. Group name itself is a sudo. That's it. Okay. Right. So now what we have to do is provide sudo permissions to the user Krishna. So how? So here user mod hyphen ag means adding a user to a group. To which group? Wheel, then Krishna. Already we verified. We got an error that Krishna is not a part of sudo file and he cannot create a file in the slash. Let us do this. Let me check groups for Krishna. You can see he's a part of a group called V. Now, su hyphen Krishna, just switching to the Krishna user. Yes, who am I? Krishna. Now, touch Krishna 1. Earlier we got error, right? Permission denied. So I have to use a sudo asking the password. Welcome at the rate 123. See? See, the file got created. The moment once you add the user into the sudoer group, it can be a wheel or sudo. Group names can be wheel or a sudo, depends on the operating system, right? Okay. Now I have a folder. Generally, whenever you want to share some data with your friends, what you will do? First, you will zip it, right? You will zip it and then you will share it. In the real time, as a DevOps engineer, we must use a zipping and unzipping because whenever you want to ship the logs, you can't forward like as is. You will unzip so that it will compressed and will take less space and easy to share. Why DevOps uses this? To back up the logs, share the artifacts, store application data, whatever it is. So I can say zip and unzip can be used by the DevOps to back up the logs, share build artifacts, and store application data for over a longer periods. Okay, how to zip? How to zip? Let me show you. There are multiple things. Zip is there, tar is there, right? You can use anything that doesn't matter. You can use anything that doesn't matter. Okay, I will show you that. Give me a second. So here, zip multiple files together and create a zip file which contains zip file. Yeah, that's okay, zip file. Yeah. How to do that? Let me show you. Assume I have three files or two files. Do we have any? Yeah, these two, right? Let us zip these two together to create a file.zip. To create a file.zip. Okay, right. So now how to do that? The command is going to be zip space files.zip, the output zip file name, then file1.txt space file12.txt. Like what all files you would like to zip together and the zip file name. Okay, right. So let me write that zip files.zip then file1 dot txt, then file12 dot txt, enter, permission denied. So, okay, I'm in the Krishna user, so I have to use a sudo because I'm not a root user. Adding, done, done. Let me check ls-l. Can you see the file dot tx zip? Where is the file dot zip? See, actually, these two files, one is an empty file and the second file is 1381 bytes. But what happened? It almost like 60% size got reduced. 427 after zip. Okay. Now how to unzip? How to unzip? Simple thing. Unzip files dot zip. Replace files because already files exist. Right? Yes, replace. I have to use sudo. Done. See, these two files got replaced. Files dot zip. So this is how you can use zip and unzip. But there are something called different things. Tar is also like we have a WinRAR, WinZip, 7-zip, right? The same way the zip and unzip is the default one. Then you can use a tar and all. I will show you that also. Unzip the zip file. How to do that? Unzip space files dot zip is the command. So if you want to use like what we call that, if you want to zip a folder, if you want to zip a folder, then you have to, and that folder contains multiple files, subdirectories and all, you have to use -r, recursive. Tar, there is a tar. Tar is a kind of tape archive. What it does, it combines multiple files into one archive. Compression is optional. Compression is optional. What it does, instead of sharing like multiple files, you can share all the files as a single file. It will archive multiple files together by using which tar, T-A-R, tape archive. So like using what we call that, we can create archives using the tar. We can create archive using a tar, and you can use gzip, the compression. We can use gzip for compression, which is optional. Okay. So here, if you want, like, let me show you. So create create an archive and a compress using a tag. Compress is nothing but like reducing the size. The zip also does the same, right? Also here tab hyphen CZVF. I will explain what all these files dot gz space and a folder. This is a folder. Folder can be compressed, not like a zip and all. It create the folder as an archive. Z is gzip compression, and the extension is going to be ZZ. Okay, so we don't have a thing. So let me create mkdir Krishna, a folder. So now whatever the files available under Krishna directory will be compressed. What is a C? C stands for create. C stands for create. Z is a compression zip. V verbose. V verbose. F a file. It creates a file archive. Okay, let me execute this command. And I do Krishna, and let me create a few files. Krishna 1. Okay, so here is the command. We have to use a sudo. Done. LL. So can you see something like files.zz, right? Okay. So now if you want to extract the archive, if you want to extract the archive, extract the archive files.zz. That is the archive name. So what should be the command? Do you think untar? No, not untar. So the same tar hyphen xvf. C stands for create, right? X stands for extract. Same verbose file. Verbose in the sense like the same permissions will be retained. The timestamps and everything will be retained. Okay. Right. So let us execute xvf, then the files.zz. That's it. Let me go there. Tar hyphen xvf files dot zz. Let me use a sudo. Done. ln. You can see somewhere here. Where is that? Okay. That's what I'm checking. Where I have sudo. What I have given the command is sudo tar hyphen xvf. Actually, that should be extracted into the location the same way, but I'm checking the name. Hmm. 1 second. Let me cross check. What files we have archived? Krishna directory. Okay. I will do one thing. Generally, that has to be what we call that extracted into the directory where we are running that, just to avoid the confusion. Give me a second. Let me execute that one more time. Files.zz. Generally, that should be tar.zz. That's okay. We extracted in that way. Okay, let me execute that tar hyphen xvf. See here, this is the one. Already there is a folder with the same name, right? So it replaced. So we were unable to identify. So we were unable to identify. See, that files.zz contains a directory called Krishna, right? That was extracted here. You can see the time February 5th, 2:54 UTC. If I add five and a half, it's approximately 8:30, right? 8 something. The same time. That's the folder. That's how you can extract. If you ask me a question, can I extract it to a different location? Yes, you can do that. Let's do that so that you will get some clarity on that, right? Here, I will say extracted means that files will be extracted to a directory called slash extra. I think we don't have that, right? That's the problem. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me create one directory first. Let us say test. Now I want to extract the files into the test directory. What happened due to previous errors exiting with failures? Test no, not found in archive. tar-xvf files.zz. Okay, hyphen c slash test c. I missed that hyphen c. Okay, now if I go to test directory which I created, where is the test qrst test here, right? Cd space test ll c directory cd space krista ls. See, this is how you can extract into an existing directory. This is how you can extract into existing directory also. Okay. Right. So is that clear with zipping and unzipping? Archive, zip, unzip. Any questions so far? Clear. Okay. So let us go with something about package management. First of all, what is a package? Package management. What is the meaning of a package? Package is nothing but the software and a dependencies, right? Plus version management, whatever, a kind of an application. Yeah, new software exists, whatever. Yeah. If you need a software in your machine, that is what we call as a package, right? Okay. Sorry. So whenever you're using a server or any machine, obviously we need different softwares to be installed. In Linux, we call them as a package. So as a DevOps engineer, you install different packages like Docker, Jenkins, Java, Git, monitoring tools, etc. Without package managers, without package managers, DevOps automation is not possible. You can't do DevOps automation without packages. Okay. So now let us see how to install a package and what are the different package managers available. There are multiple. So most commonly used one is a YUMM. If it is a Ubuntu, we use something called APT. We use something called APT. So let me write down a few points, some basic points. So I can say a package is a pre-compiled software bundle that contains program files, libraries, everything, what not, libraries, dependencies, etc. If you ask me like example packages, Nginx is there, Docker is there, Git is there, Java is there, HTTPD is there, Apache is there. These all are the packages. And without a package, and we use a package managers to install a packages on Linux machines. If there is no package manager, what should be the problem is we need to manually download the software. We need to manually download the dependencies and you need to manually install step by step. But the package manager downloads the software. It automatically resolves the dependencies installs correctly, updates safely, and it also removes cleanly. Like it will not leave any traces of that package in your machine. So I can say the package manager does downloads a software, resolves dependencies, and installs the package. Not only downloading, it automatically installs, updates safely, and removes cleanly. So without a package manager, we need to download, the packages manually, resolve the dependency issues on our own. Like you need to check what Java version is required and you need to download the Java runtime environment. You need to install it. So package manager can do everything for you. So what are the common Linux package managers? There are multiple. Depends on what operating system you are using. Most commonly are two, yum and apt. As a DevOps engineer, you must know both yum and apt. So when to use yum and when to use apt is if you are using Amazon Linux, I mean the operating system, Amazon Linux, RHEL or CentOS, they use yum repository manager. And if you are using Ubuntu or a Debian, then apt. DevOps engineer must know both yum and update. Okay, let us see. Let us install. Like first, what we have to do is you need to update a repository metadata before installing any package. So note is it is highly recommend to update the repository metadata before installing any packages. Okay. Now the first thing, update yum repository metadata means it will fetch the latest packages list. What this update will do is it will fetch the latest package list and then it will be installed. Okay. So what should be the command is first yum update. That's it. For install, I will show you that also. At least we will complete the installation part. So the tomorrow onwards, like we will wait for like 5-10 minutes more and we'll complete this package management so that tomorrow we can get into our actual things. Okay. We can close the Linux by today. It won't take more than 10 more minutes. So yum update. How yum update. Enter. See, Amazon Linux 2023 repository is getting refreshed. I mean, it will get the latest package list and all from the repository. Repository is managed by M. So nothing to do complete means the repository is up to date. Now, I want to install something. Can you name any package? Any package? Let us say Nginx, yeah. Install Nginx package using, yeah. The command is going to be yum install Nginx. Before installing, you can search for the package also, but we don't do that. Like how yum search Nginx. See, it will display what version is available in the Nginx, right? What all the information, everything is available. Okay. So to install yum install Nginx in the real time, once we are habituated or once we are comfortable with the commands, we do like this. I will explain what is this -y. -y auto confirms. What kind of auto confirms that I will show you here. Yum install Nginx. Press enter. See what happened? It is trying to install Nginx. What is the version? 1.28.1-1, and it identifies that these dependencies must be installed in order to install the Nginx package. And automatically it will install all the dependencies. So see, install 7 packages. Total download size is going to be 1.1 MB. After installing, it consumes 3.7 MB in size. Is this okay for you? You have to press Y for yes and for no. Then only it will continue for the installation. What if you use -y at the end? Auto approve. It won't ask you for are you okay, yes or no. Automatically it will consider this as an input. Can you name any other package to install? Some other package? Let us say Git, right? Yum install git dash y. See, Git getting installed. Now I want to see what all got installed. Yum list installed. Okay, let us say install package using. Now what we can do is verify, view the list of installed packages. View the list of installed packages. How to do that? Yum list installed. Even we don't use that yum list installed in the real time. It will display what all got installed. What we installed, let me show you the one which we installed just recently. See, this is the one which we installed, Nginx. Then Git, abcdfg, git. Here it is. Okay. Now, this is not the important. The important thing is you need to check whether the service is running or not, right? We installed Nginx service and we have to check whether the Nginx service is running or not. Check that the Nginx service status, right? How to check? There are multiple ways. Now, the common one is a systemctl space a status space package name. Few people will use service name status also. There's an outdated one. This is the latest one, systemctl status nginx. What is the status? Nginx service is disabled. It is inactive, not running, which means by default, 90% of the Linux packages will not run automatically along with the installation. So here I will write a note point. By default, majority of the packages will not run automatically. So now start the Nginx service. How? The same command, systemctl start Nginx. Right? Now let us see. Systemctl start Nginx. Now verify the status again. Loaded. What is the status? Active running. But the problem is if I reboot the computer, the service will not start again. If I reboot the computer, that service will not run again. Again, I have to start manually. I have to start manually. Let us see how to reboot the computer. Do you know? So I will say restart the Linux machine and verify the status of the Nginx service. So how to reboot? Init a 6. Init a 6. And then again you can use the systemctl status Nginx once the machine is up and running. Init 6 is restart. Init 0 is a stop. Init 6. It will take like 1 or 2 minutes to restart, right? The moment once it got started, we will verify and confirm that the service is not running again. So what we do, we will make sure that the service will be automatically started. This is nothing but like this. Let me show you. In the Windows, we have a lot of services, right? Whatever you install, they will be running as a services. What happened to the services? Did I click on yes? Services.ms. Okay, this one. If you open the services, you can see a lot of services in your computer, right? See, there are few startup type as a manual. They will never run automatically until I start them manually. You can see some few are automatic, right? Whenever the startup type as automatic, along with my system start, whenever I start my system, automatically those services will be up and running. The same way, by default, the Linux packages, the startup type is a manual. You need to start it manually. Now, what we do is we will make sure the startup type to be automatic. Okay, let me reconnect. Yeah, now system CT, okay, sudo hyphen I or sudo space su. What is the command we have used? Okay, systemctl status nginx. What is the status? Disabled. So now what we have to do is systemctl start nginx. This is what we have done already, but it won't start the service automatically every time. So what we have to do is configure the nginx service to be started automatically when the system starts. For this, the command is going to be systemctl enable nginx. That's it. Systemctl enable nginx. What enable? Auto start. Systemctl enable nginx. Now you can restart and verify that the service will be automatically started. Okay. Now I want to uninstall. How to uninstall? That also we should know, right? Uninstall the nginx package or any package that doesn't matter. Same command yum. Just use the remove nginx. That's it. Let us see. Yum remove nginx. Press Y for confirmation and done. There is no nginx in your machine. If you are on Ubuntu, instead of yum, you have to use apt. apt-get, apt update, apt remove, right? The same thing. Just a different repository. Okay. Right. So any questions on the package management? If you want to disable automatically, there is no way to disable automatically. If you don't, okay, I mean, you mean like you don't want to what we call that start the service automatically, right? That is what you want to. Okay, I didn't get your question. So you want to revert the changes, like what we have done. Install Nginx. Okay, give me a second. Okay, okay, got it. Let me show you. Systemctl enable Nginx systemctl start Nginx. One second, let me revert the system so that I can explain start. Okay. So now your question is, we configure the systemctl to be started automatically. So you now after a few days, you decided the service not to be started automatically. So can I use disable? That's it. Like simple. In the Windows, we have the what we call that the automate a startup type to be automatic, right? I can go to some this and okay, let me go with some normal one, right? I can change this to manual. The same way in the Linux, enable disable. If you are not using systemctl, and if you are using chkconfig, there is another command, old version commands. There, instead of enable, we used to have on and off. Yes, you can use disable. Right. Yeah. Yes. Any other questions? So this is about the Linux commands required for the DevOps. We do have a few other commands like, yeah, you can. A few other commands like disk space monitoring, right? CPU monitoring, memory monitoring, which won't take much time, right? Which will take like 5 to 10 minutes of time, which I will cover in the tomorrow first 15 minutes. And then we can move on to the other things, okay? Like how to monitor disk space, memory utilization, CPU utilization, like kind of a monitoring things, which we will cover in the tomorrow first 15 minutes, and then we can move on to our the cloud computing. I mean, initially we will start with the DevOps tools only, but as I discussed earlier, I will explain like AWS global infrastructure, right? And I will show you like a free tier account creation also so that we can use that AWS free trial account for our practice purpose. And yeah, yesterday I did not get some time to download the video. So today at any cost, I will download and I will share with you guys. The easiest way, I think, I will create one unlisted playlist in the YouTube and I will share the URL. Every day you can use the same URL. The new videos will be added over there. Okay. Like with the day name, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, and so on. So instead of sharing the new URL for every video, I will create a playlist and I will upload. So the single URL will work, the playlist URL. Okay. Yeah. Yes, single URL and the list of videos will be updated in an order. Okay. Yeah. Right. If you guys are clear, you guys can leave. If you have a question, just you can wait and you can ask me the questions. Yep. Thank you, Rajkumar. Okay, then it seems clear. No questions, it seems. So just try. I will upload the. I will share this notepad also, this file, right, where I have provided some points and the syntaxes where you can use it for practice purpose, right? And just make sure to complete at least once we start the AWS, make sure to complete the practical so that it will be easy for you to remember and understand the concepts.